So, hey Manish, thank you so much for coming over here. It is amazing to having you. And जब हम लोग की फर्स्ट बात हुई, so I never thought कि I will like you will be giving a reply because you had such a huge amount of following. So, but still, thank you so much for coming back. And yes, so without wasting time, let's hop into the podcast. So, Manish, I know you a little bit, but to all the listeners who are like unable to like connect with you, please tell about yourself so that they understand like from where are you coming.
So first of all, that's so nice of you. So I try to reply whoever texts me most number of times, and I feel I should share my experiences with the people like you or freshers, so it might help them. So इसलिए I try my best to reply all the messages. And talking about myself, so I have been in the IT industry for almost 5.5 years. And I did my graduation from Satyabhama University. It's not a very known university, but it's good. And so I was placed in Wipro through campus placement, and I was there for 3.5 years. And there I realized that the exposure and the kind of money I'm making is not good enough for me. And that's when I decided that I have to try and I have to switch or move to maybe a product company or a startup company. And that's when I started preparing myself for interviews. Because if you're in a MNC, it's hard to get into a startup or product-based company.
Right.
So it took me almost a year. And after giving around 15-16 interviews, I got through Zeta's interview and I joined Zeta. I was in Zeta for almost 1.5 years. It's in fintech domain. And I guess because I was in fintech domain, I was able to crack the interview of Grab, which is a Singapore-based startup, which is again in fintech space. And yeah, so God has been very kind till now, and I have been learning and moving ahead in my career, and I hope the same continues in further as well. So yeah, that's it about my experience.
Great. And also, you have a following on Quora and YouTube as well. Would you like to share something on that?
Yeah, so I started Quora just as a curious reader, and later I figured out that even I can write and reach more people. So I am active on Quora for last four years. For past couple of months, I'm not that active, but still, at least I try to write whenever I find time. I have around 15 million views over there on my answers, and I have around 7,000 followers. Same thing with YouTube. So I started when I just passed out from my college. So whenever I find, like, it's not regular or it's not like that I'm making videos every week, but whenever I have something to share or something in my mind, it could be with fitness or with my experience or with anything else. If there's anything in my mind which I want to share, I make a video. And recently I have also started writing and sharing stuff in LinkedIn. So I'm very active on social media, all the social media handles which I have.
That's great. That's great. And as you spoke, firstly, that 3.5 years in Wipro, that's a huge amount of time. So, what, according to you, is like from a fresher to this is my curiosity question, that how important is the first company that anyone starting or like leaving a college must grab? Like any, we can get into any company, but how important must be that decision? Like he had 2 to 3 offers, so what should be his mindset before choosing that?
Yeah, so that's a very valid question. So first thing is that when I was a fresher, I had no one to guide me. So I didn't have answer of this question which you're asking me. So for me, the answer was just get a job. Doesn't matter whether it's a startup or product-based company or it's a big company, small company. Just get a job, because it's frustrating that you finish your graduation and you don't have a job. If you have a job, or if you have a higher studies plan, or if your parents are doing really good, they are doing financially really good, then maybe you can have some breathing time. But for me, it was not the case. I have to prove myself and I have to get a job. So for me, the idea was to get a job. But if you ask me, now I have experience, so I would say there could be two things. Either you have many offers, or you don't have offers at all. If you have many offers, it could be two things. Either you have offers from MNCs or offers from MNCs along with product-based companies or startup companies. So if you have only offers from MNCs, then all the big MNCs are really good. I won't discriminate anyone, whether it's Infosys, Wipro, CTS, Cognizant, Accenture, every big MNC is good, and you will have kind of similar exposure. But I have heard that companies like Wipro, Infosys give you more exposure in training, initial training.
Okay.
And if you join TCS, you have a very good opportunity to go abroad. So that's one advantage. But more or less, they have same. They are on the same line in terms of pay scale, in terms of experience. So if you are having only options to MNCs, just join anything and just go with the flow, because entering in the this corporate life is important. Later you can carve your own path, the way I did. And if you don't have any offers, neither from MNCs or from startups, then just go for internships or join any company, because in that case you need to get some experience. Otherwise, it's hard to enter the industry unless you're really good. But if you have an option where you can join a startup or product-based company, I would suggest go for that, because the kind of exposure you will get, the kind of grill or the kind of people will meet over there, you won't get it anywhere else. So if in the first couple of years of your IT industry or IT experience, if you work in a startup or product-based company, your career will be on a different trajectory. Which I personally felt, because I felt the kind of work I was doing in Wipro for 3 years, it was kind of same. Though I was earning and I was learning obviously a few bit, but not much. So my suggestion would be, first priority would be go to a product-based company or startup, be there for a couple of years, you will be really good. If not that, join any big MNCs, and if you don't have any other option, then anything is fine.
Right. And speaking of MNC, like everyone has their pros and cons. So it might not be a very huge decision to take, but yes, as you said, that between a MNC and product based, like you have seen the shift. Everyone is now running towards a product based and like startups basically. So many are rejecting the MNCs for a like newly 2 to 3 year startup also, because of the exposure and all the like the LP is also higher, the amount of package they receive. So speaking of the package, I have a really like crucial question. I'm not highlighting any specific company, but as my also campus drives are going on, I have seen the companies, the amount of package they are delivering now, or they're offering now, same amount of package was being delivered like 5 to 6, 7 years back, right? So what do you think? Like this is the main reason because people are shifting from MNCs to the startup. And what are your views on this thing? Like all the LPS is same over the so many of years.
See, so you have to understand one thing, that MNCs are not wrong here, because if you see the number game, then MNCs are giving more opportunity than startups. The number of people they are hiring every year is going up and up, and they are the really one who are really giving hope to our freshers and our freshly graduates. But yeah, the reason people are moving is that one, as I said, you have a challenging environment, you learn more, and yes, you are paid well as well compared to MNCs. There you are paid well. So I would say it's a good shift, but there are many people who are not able to go through that grind, or maybe they want some breathing space in their life. So in that case, maybe MNC is a good option, and that too, MNC has a workforce of lakhs and lakhs of people. They cannot give you a hefty package like a startup or a product-based company, because they have a huge employee strength. So even they have to make sure that they keep running. So if you join a MNC, chances of going abroad is more, because startups are majorly country-based. Like most of them are in India only. You don't get the opportunity to go out. And MNCs are having a good cash flow. So in case of any issue, like we had pandemic, or we might have some other issues, or so they are able to survive because they have a good cash flow, good reserve of cash. In case of startup, nobody can say how good a startup will do. Even if a startup is in the market for the last 5 years, there could be a possibility that a new startup will come and it has a better better plans, better they know the customer well, and they might beat you even if you're in the market for 5 or 6 years. So that part is there. So I would say, like, if you join a startup, always be on your toes, and keep learning, and keep checking that how the startup is doing, and how much you are learning, and be ready for this. There could be a day maybe where you will be told that maybe the startup is not doing well, and there could be also a day maybe they will tell that they have raised a fund and there is a hike in your salary. So it's like a seesaw. In case of MNCs, it's like a flat curve. Your salary will increase, but not that much gradually. Your experience will increase, your exposure will increase, but not much slowly and gradually. So it's your call. If you want to if you're okay with less salary and with a good work-life balance, you want stability, go with MNCs. But you want to make more money when you are in this early stage of your career, you want to learn more, and go for a product-based company or startup. Or I would say just juggle between both of them. Maybe if you're starting with your career with a startup, later point join MNC, or if you're started MNC, later point join, then you can only make a call for yourself.
Right. Exactly. I think this question was very well answered by you. Like every point that anyone wants to hear about, you touched everything. So thank you. That was a great answer. And talking about you a little bit more, your domain specifically, that is testing, right? There are several myths around, and you started your career in testing with Wipro itself, right? After your training, you were shifted to the testing domain, and many listening to this podcast also, they also might agree that many say that testing or testers are maybe they are not technology well sound, or they are just having a secondary to tertiary job to a software developer. So you have been in this industry for 5.5 years, and you have a lot of knowledge on testing. So please tell us what is testing, and how anyone this testing is not about coding, right? So anyone wants to be into the IT industry, and maybe he or she is not very good with coding. So what are their prospects in testing? Please share.
So that's right. I won't deny that. If you see the salary comparison of a tester and a developer, then there is a difference for sure. Developers make more money than a tester, and I'm not denying that. Even I know that very well. But you have to ask this question to yourself: are you really good with coding, and can you do this for your whole life, and can you keep learning for your whole life, and do you really enjoy coding and working in the pressure environment? If the answer is yes for yourself, then I would suggest everyone should go for development, because the kind of money, the kind of exposure you get there, you won't get anywhere else. But in case if you're not that tech savvy, maybe you know a bit of coding, but you don't think that I'll be doing this for the rest of my life, and you want some peace in your life where you can also give time to yourself and to your family and all, then maybe testing a right job. Because though the pay is not as great as developer, I would say the pay is not even it's not bad compared to other private jobs. If you compare someone who's in the IT industry for 5-6 years and has a good experience in testing, they would be really getting a very handsome salary. So I have made a video on my YouTube channel, a salary of a QA tester, where I have explained this thing very clearly. So there I have mentioned for a tester, if you think you have experience of 5 years, just multiply your experience by 2 and by 4. For example, your experience is 5 years, multiply it with 2, the number is 10. Multiply with 4, the number is 20. You can easily get a package between this range in testing.
Okay.
So for example, you are really good and you have switched the company couple of times, you can easily make around 12 to 15 lakhs per annum. Okay, which is roughly around 80,000 to 1 lakh per month. On top of that, you get some breathing space. You have some breathing space for yourself, for your family. You can do something else. Maybe you have some passion, or maybe you have some, for example, I write on Quora, I write on LinkedIn, I make YouTube videos. Workout is part of my life. I cannot miss my workouts. So I make sure that I go to gym every morning, and this all is happening because with just 4 and 5 hours of work, I'm able to finish my work, and I'm saving some time for my family, for myself. So yes, developers are paid well than tester. I'm not denying that. And testers are not paid as well as the developers. Testers are not paid as well as developers. But if you're really good with the testing, if you know API testing, manual, functional, or non-functional automation, you can earn as good as developer, as close as developer. If not, at least you will be earning good enough. And I would also like to mention one point here, that when you are a testing guy or when you're a QA, you think from a user perspective. And I have seen people who has a good experience of QA becoming a product manager. And product managers are like, they earn like anything. They earn as good as developers or even more than that. So be a QA for 5, 6, 7 years, get some management skills, learn some communication skills, and you can be a product manager. And then you can earn as good as a developer, even more than that. So yes, you're right. There is some differences, but if you know how to manage, you can really have a good and peaceful career in IT, in testing as well.